Hello, I'm Josh Perlmutter, and welcome to People in Perspective. Today in this edition we have Jessica Jimenez, an engineer who works at HBK Engineering. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, let's start. Why did you become an engineer in the first place?
Well, growing up, I always really liked math and, just solving equations and things like that. Math was always my favorite subject. And then I also really liked science because of all the labs and the hands-on activities we got to do. So then I got to high school and I was taking calculus and physics, and I found out that I could combine both of them, and that, basically everything I was doing in my calculus class would be applied to physics. And that's kind of how I realized I could combine them and do engineering.
Interesting. What classes do you need to take to become an engineer?
Well, it really depends on the kind of engineering. So there are different types of engineering, but generally everybody has to take intro to physics, intro to chemistry, and then a calculus class.
Okay. Speaking of that, what are the different types of engineers?
So the main ones are probably chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, biomedical engineering, computer engineering, and civil engineering. And then there's others that kind of branch out from that.
Okay. What kind of engineer are you?
So I majored in mechanical engineering.
Did you need to take any special classes for that type of engineering?
Yeah, so after those basic ones that I took, everything was pretty much physics-based. So, physics of how fluids move and things like that. So I took a lot of classes like that, and then a lot of them also had labs attached to it where what I was learning, we could apply it to real life things. So there was one class I took that was like a vibrations class, and we got to mess around with this huge wind tunnel that's probably like the size of this room, and that kind of was to simulate the wing on an airplane and how it vibrates just a teeny tiny bit when you're flying in the air.
That's cool. Well, what do you do now as a real engineer?
So now I'm actually a civil engineer, which mechanical and civil engineering are pretty similar. They're both really heavy in physics. Civil engineering, though, deals with more like stationary things, and mechanical is more things that move. So now as a civil engineer, though, I design for different utilities. So, all your utilities like your gas, your power, AT&T, things like that, they go underground. So I design where they go. Someone will go out to whatever location we need. They'll take elevations of different places, and they'll kind of map everything out for us. Then they'll bring it back to me, and I'll take those elevations and I'll kind of design where our new gas line, for example, will go, depending on what other utilities are already in the area. And then it actually gets built in real life.
Okay. Why did you change from mechanical to civil?
Well, I originally did mechanical because it was more of a general field and I really liked physics. My school actually didn't offer civil engineering, but they were similar enough where when I was looking for internships, I was applying to things for mechanical and civil. And I ended up getting an internship with the state, the Illinois Department of Transportation. And I really liked that because I got to go out into the field a lot as well as be in the office.
Okay. What do you like being about? What about being an engineer do you like?
So one of the things that I really like is that I get to see that it's actually impacting people. So it actually impacts people, and we always need utilities.
What is your goal in engineering? What is your goal for the future?
Oh, okay, so that's kind of a tricky one. I think ideally, something that I've always wanted to do is work at Disney World or something like that. I think it'd be really cool to get to be able to turn, my favorite childhood movies and things like that into real life things. Like the Star Wars thing that just came out, I think that would have been really cool to be a part of that and actually make that whole movie come to life.
If you weren't an engineer, what would you have been?
If I wasn't an engineer, I I probably would have been a teacher, actually. Probably like a math teacher or something like that. I've always really liked kids and have always helped people with their homework, so.
And why is that?
Why is that?
Yeah.
Well, just because, I don't know, like I said earlier, I always really liked math, and growing up my friends would always come to me for help with that, so I think that probably would have been a good fit.
Okay. Are you planning to design anything in the future?
Right now, I've been working a lot with like internet utility type things. So designing fiber optic networks that go underground to help internet speed be faster. So we're actually working with a lot of schools to get their internet connection to be a lot faster, which will be really helpful for students in the future.
Okay. Thank you for being on People in Perspective.
Thanks for having me.
I'm Josh Perlmutter, and thanks for watching.